Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina described Gaza incidents as simply a genocide and calls upon global leaders to come forward to stop oppression over civilians. There is no obstacle in smooth functioning of Parliament as there is opposition as well as independent lawmakers to criticize government in the House, says Obaidul Qadir. Bangladesh and European Union will work together against disinformation, says State Minister for Information and Broadcasting Muhammad Ali Arafat. Most of the 9 migrants who died as a vessel en route to Europe catches fire in Mediterranean Sea are Bangladeshis, says Bangladesh Embassy in Libya. US sending more weapons to Israel amid ongoing call for ceasefire in Gaza. And India beat England by 434 runs in Rajkot Test. Assalamu alaikum, this is Thuli Komalika Das welcoming you all to News at 10. You have just heard the headlines, now on to the details. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina called upon the world leaders to stop Israeli invasion in Gaza Strip. What is actually happening in Gaza is genocide, she said, adding that the global leaders should stand by the oppressed Palestinian people. The Prime Minister said this in an interview with the Turkish state-run news agency Anadolu in Munich yesterday.
We're always against any genocide. What is happening in Gaza, I feel it's a genocide, so we never support it. The Gaza people, Palestinian people, they have the right to live. It's a very sad thing. So world should help them and stop this invasion and war. And already Bangladesh, we send some assistance to them, and I call upon people in the world to support and help the suffering children, women, and the people of Palestinian. That this operation, we never support. Palestinian people should have the right to have their own state, and that's clear.
Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina will leave Munich, Germany for home tonight after wrapping up her day official visit to attend Munich Security Conference 2024. A flight of Biman Bangladesh Airlines carrying the Premier is scheduled to depart from Munich around 9:10 p.m. local time. The flight will land at the Hazrat Shah Jalal International Airport, Dhaka, on 11 a.m. tomorrow. The Premier reached Munich on February 15th, marking her first official visit since assuming office after winning the 12th parliamentary election. During her stay in Germany, Sheikh Hasina attended the opening ceremony of the Munich Security Conference and held meetings with global leaders on the sidelines of the conference. Local Government, Rural Development and Cooperatives Minister Tajul Islam has said the government is considering to raise monthly honorarium of the Union Parishad representatives. The minister said this while responding to a question at the Jatiyo সংসদ today. The House resumed its sitting with Speaker Dr. Shirin Sharmin Chaudhry in the chair. LGRD Minister said in 2017 the allowances for UP chairmen were increased by 10,000 taka and for general members and members for reserved women seat by 8,000 taka. Responding to a query, Youth and Sports Minister Najmul Hassan said the government has a plan to construct a mini stadium named after Sheikh Russell in every Upazila across the country. As part of the planned construction, he said the construction works of mini stadium at 125 Upajilas have already been completed under the first phase of Upajila level mini stadium construction project in June 2019. The House is adjourned till 4:45 in the afternoon tomorrow. Today was the last day for submission of nomination papers for reserved women's seats in the 12th National Parliament. The opposition Jatiya Party submitted the party's nomination papers at the Election Commission this morning. Besides, a delegation of Awami League Central Committee led by the party's General Secretary al-Qadir submitted the party nomination papers in the afternoon. Replying to queries from the journalists on the functioning of Parliament, al-Qadir said there is no obstacle in the smooth functioning of the House.
সংসদ কেন কার্যকর হবে না, বাধাটা কোথায়? একটা ফ্রি ফেয়ার ইলেকশন হয়েছে যেখানে টার্ন আউট 41+, এবং পৃথিবীর বহু দেশেই নির্বাচন হয়। সেই স্ট্যান্ডার্ডে বাংলাদেশের যে টার্ন আউট, এটা কম, কথা বলার কোনো সুযোগ নেই, এবং 28টি দলও এখানে অংশ নিয়েছে। তাহলে সমালোচনার জন্য স্বতন্ত্ররা আছেন, বিরোধী দল তো আছে। এখানে সংসদ কার্যকর হওয়ার পথে কোনো অন্তরায় বা বাধা আছে বলে আমরা মনে করি। এখনো আমরা সতর্ক পাহারায় আছি, যদি কেউ এই নির্বাচন নিয়ে কোনো প্রকার ষড়যন্ত্রমূলক, সন্ত্রাসমূলক কোনো তৎপরতায় আসে, সেটা আমরা অবশ্যই প্রতিরোধ করব, দেশের জনগণকে নিয়ে প্রতিহত।
al-Qadir said no Awami League leader talked about banning BNP, who are stuck in quicksand of mistakes.
এটা যুবলীগের, তারা তাদের একটা স্বতন্ত্র সত্তা আছে, তারা করতে পারে। মূল দল হচ্ছে আওয়ামী লীগ। আওয়ামী লীগের ধরনের চিন্তা ভাবনা করলে আমরা অবশ্যই বলতাম। আমাদের কোনো নেতা নিশ্চয়ই এই বিষয়টির অবতারণা করেন, আর বিএনপিকে নিয়ে অত মাথা ব্যথা আমাদের নেই।
Organizing Secretary of Awami League Abu Said Al-Mahmoud Shopon and Office Secretary Barrister Biplab Barua were among others present. State Minister for Information and Broadcasting Muhammad Ali Arafat said the government wants to resist misinformation and disinformation by keeping freedom of expression and freedom of the mass media intact. He said this to journalists after a meeting with a delegation of the European Union at the Secretariat today. The State Minister said misinformation and disinformation is pushing people into risks. Not only Bangladesh, but also the entire world is grappled with this problem, he added. Muhammad Ali Arafat said the EU delegation focused on exchanges of ideas through partnerships to address the issue.
প্রচুর গণমাধ্যমে বিস্তৃতি করেছে। আমি এখানে এটাও বলেছি, এত ওপেন করতে যে, উদার করতে যে এমন হয়েছে যে গণমাধ্যমের মধ্যেও আবার অনেক ইনডিসিপ্লিন ঢুকে গেছে। যারা পেশাদারী সাংবাদিক তারা এসে বলছেন এখানে রেগুলেশন, ডিসিপ্লিন আনা দরকার। তো এটা তো আমি যাদের সাথে বলছি সবাই একই কথা বলছে। তো এখন বেশি ওপেন করাও আবার ভালো কিনা এটা আপনারা এখন নিজেরাই বলছেন যে একটু রেগুলেট করা। তো এগুলো আলাপ হয়েছে যে আমরা চাই আসলে একটা হেলথি, সুস্বাস্থ্যকর পরিবেশ সাংবাদিকতা, গণমাধ্যমের জায়গায়, রাজনীতির ক্ষেত্রে এবং সব জায়গাতে। আমরা অবশ্যই অপতথ্যকে আমরা প্রতিরোধ করতে চাই, কিন্তু মত প্রকাশের যে অবাধ স্বাধীনতা এবং গণমাধ্যমের অবাধ স্বাধীনতা, অবারিত স্বাধীনতা, সেই স্পেসকে কোনোভাবেই সংকুচিত করে নয়। কাজে দুটো একই সাথে আমাদের করতে হবে।
On behalf of the European Union, Ambassador Charles Whitley said the EU will extend cooperation to Bangladesh to resist misinformation and disinformation.
Approach to the issue of disinformation is it's an issue we're all addressing around the world. In the European Union, we're working on this issue, making sure that we balance or make sure that rights are protected in the context of disinformation and addressing concerns about the internet and about the media. So we are very happy that the Minister invited us to share European Union practice in this regard, how we handle the freedom of information, freedom of media, but also how we handle disinformation, which is a huge challenge to every country around the world and a huge potential challenge to freedom.
4 northern districts of the country, including Panchagor, made a new record in tea production. Statistics say tea cultivation in these districts is rising every year. Tea produced in the region accounts for 17% of the national production. In 2023, moving on to the international news. At least 9 died when a boat carrying 52 migrants of different nationalities to Europe sank in the Mediterranean Sea following a fire accident. The embassy of Bangladesh in Libya said most of the passengers who were killed in the accident were Bangladeshi nationals. Tunisian Navy rescued 26 Bangladeshi from the boat, including one in critical condition. The embassy said it is actively collaborating with Tunisian authorities, the Red Crescent Society and the International Organization for Migration (IOM) to ensure that rescued Bangladeshi nationals receive necessary assistance and medical care. The administration of U.S. President Joe Biden is preparing to send bombs and various types of weapons to Israel. The U.S. wants to send this shipment of weapons to Israel despite negotiations to end Israel's continued attacks on Gaza. This afternoon is known from the current and former officials of the United States. However, these weapons are still awaiting internal evaluation by the administration. A U.S. official said the proposal to send the weapons would have to be approved by congressional committee leaders. Meanwhile, Israel said it would soon launch a ground offensive on Rafah, a southern town in the Gaza Strip bordering Egypt. Western leaders have opposed the ground attack plan. Reports say Nasser Hospital, Gaza's second largest medical facility, has been put completely out of service. The WHO chief said that some 200 patients were inside the facility, which has been under an Israeli siege for nearly a month. The United States has said it will block another resolution that will soon be presented at the United Nations, urging a ceasefire in Israel's war on Gaza. Algeria has proposed a new resolution be put to a vote on Tuesday at the UN Security Council that seeks an immediate humanitarian ceasefire between Israel and Hamas, while also demanding an immediate and unconditional release of all hostages. U.S. Ambassador to the UN Linda Thomas-Greenfield said the resolution could run counter to the goals that Washington says can be achieved through diplomacy in talks between Israel and Hamas that Qatar and Egypt are also mediating. A potential agreement which has been under discussion for weeks proposes a weeks-long truce during which Israeli captives held in Gaza can be exchanged for Palestinian prisoners in Israeli jails, and more humanitarian aid can enter the besieged Gaza Strip. A senior bureaucrat in Pakistan has said he helped rigging Pakistan's elections a week after polls marred by allegations of manipulating produced no clear winner. Commissioner of the garrison city of Rawalpindi, Liaquat Ali Chatta, said he would hand himself over to police and step down from his position, implicating the head of the election commission and the country's top judge. Liaquat Ali Chatta said they converted the losers into winners, reversing margins of 70,000 votes in 13 National Assembly seats. After Chatta's announcement, Rawalpindi's senior superintendent of police operations, Kamran Asgar, said the commissioner had not been arrested as no case was filed against him. Meanwhile, Pakistan's Election Commission rejected Chatta's allegations but said in a statement that it would hold an inquiry. Thailand's convicted former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra has arrived at his mansion in the capital Bangkok after being released on parole. Thai authorities say Thaksin was eligible for parole due to his age and health issues. The billionaire was freed from a police hospital where he had been serving a 1-year jail sentence for corruption and abuse of power. Thaksin was detained as soon as he returned to Thailand last August from 15 years in self-imposed exile. He did not spend a single night in jail after complaining of health problems. Thaksin's original 8-year prison term was commuted to 1 year by Thailand's king just days after he returned from exile. Thaksin left the country in 2008 after being deposed by a coup 2 years earlier. State Minister for Women and Children Affairs Simin Hossain Rimi said the government is determined to reduce child and maternal mortality rates and establish an egalitarian society. She said this while meeting Swedish Ambassador Alexandra Berg von Linde in the Secretariat today. They discussed various issues including improving bilateral relations, women empowerment, effects of climate change on women and preventing child marriage. The state minister said there is no alternative of raising awareness to improve the living standards of women and to prevent violence. She said women are being made aware of various issues including education, culture and sports through the formation of adolescent clubs in each and every district and upazila. Praising the present government, Swedish Ambassador Alexandra Berg von Linde said Bangladesh is a role model for women empowerment and Sweden wants to support Bangladesh in all possible ways in its development journey. Moving on to weather. Met Office in its weather forecast till 6 p.m. tomorrow said weather may remain dry with temporary partly cloudy sky over the country. Night temperature may rise slightly and day temperature may remain nearly unchanged over the country, said the Met Office. Now, news on sports. India defeated England by 434 runs with 1 day remaining in the Rajkot Test. This is India's biggest win in Test cricket. Earlier, India defeated New Zealand by 372 runs at the Wankhede Stadium in 2021. With this win, Team India has taken a 2-1 lead in the 5-match series. England's second innings was bowled out for 122 runs with the target of 557 runs given by India to win. Earlier, Yashasvi Jaiswal's unbeaten 214 helped India to declare the second innings at 430 for 4. In reply to India's 445 runs in the first innings, England were bowled out for 319 runs. Ravindra Jadeja was adjudged man of the match for his 122 runs in the first innings and 7 wickets in 2 innings with the ball. To end the bulletin, headlines once again. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina describes Gaza incidents as simply a genocide and calls upon global leaders to come forward to stop oppression over civilians. There is no obstacle in smooth functioning of Parliament as there is opposition as well as independent lawmakers to criticize government in the House, says Obaidul Qadir. Bangladesh and European Union will work together against disinformation, says State Minister for Information and Broadcasting Muhammad Ali Arafat. Most of the 9 migrants who died as a vessel en route to Europe catches fire in Mediterranean Sea are Bangladeshis, says Bangladesh Embassy in Libya. US sending more weapons to Israel amid ongoing call for ceasefire in Gaza. And India beat England by 434 runs in Rajkot Test. That's all from the newsroom for the moment. Thank you for staying with us. We invite you to watch our next Bangla News Bulletin at 11:30. Khuda Hafiz.